Hello there and welcome to this video on what if I'm an older practitioner. This is a question I get a lot of how can I get going if I'm older, and is it too late to get going with martial arts? Some people let this hold them back from doing what they really want to do. I get loads of practitioners who say, I've always wanted to train. I wish I would have gotten into martial arts when I was younger, when I was a kid, and now I just feel like it's too late. So I want to tell you a little bit about one of my first practitioners. This is once I kind of opened up my own practice. His name was Al, and Al had never trained in martial arts before. Al was in his 60s, and he wasn't quite sure if he could do it or not, but I was able to convince Al to come out for a class and try it out. And Al was so amazing. It took him a while to kind of get what was going on, and he went at his own pace, but once he got going with it, Al was one of my best practitioners. He trained with me for over a year, and he earned at least his first rank in Kung Fu. And he was one of these guys who, extremely nice guy, just very real though. He didn't mess around. He practiced, and some of the other practitioners thought that Al was so strong after training for a while, conditioning his arm so strong that they kind of were hesitant to go against him when we did arm conditioning. So Al turned out to be an extremely well versed practitioner. He did amazing. And but it took that initial step for him to see that he could do it, because he was in his mid 60s, and he never tried it before. And so it was kind of a risk for him to come for that first training. He didn't know what to expect, and the other guys who were there training were about half of his age, and so he had to get over, that kind of fear of being judged and that kind of thing. So Al did amazing, and it's one of those things that if you are an older practitioner, it really helps you in many aspects of your life. It's not just about learning the martial techniques for self-defense, it's also about longevity. When you learn techniques, these techniques stick with you forever. And the great thing about training in Kung Fu is that you can practice it anywhere. You learn, say you just learn 10 techniques, you learn some stances, some punches, maybe a couple kicks. You can take these on into old age, even very old age, and still get out there on your patio and get your blood flowing and get your oxygen levels up and really start healing yourself also if necessary. Doctors, neurologists, they all recommend that you continually learn new things as you get older. What this does is it stimulates growth. It stimulates growth hormones in your body. It increases testosterone levels, and it keeps your blood fresh. It keeps you producing new brain cells, and you start feeling interested again in going after these new things and these new goals. It can also be one of these things where you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to put it here in my mind that I'm going to get to a red sash or a blue sash or even on up to a black sash. And you have a goal now that you're working towards. Another kind of objection I get is they're afraid they can't work it into their schedule. Maybe they've kind of gotten to a routine and they are not sure if they're going to be able to fit it in. Well, I will say there is an adjustment period. Anytime you take on a new practice, you have to be patient with yourself, because during that adjustment period, you're going to have maybe some mental objections come up where, I just don't have time, or I don't know how everybody's going to be able to keep their time with me if I'm out training. And I want to really set you at ease about this. When we train in personal training, it's an hour long. It's actually 50 minutes. So you can work this 50 minutes into your schedule in the morning time. Some people like to train before work. Some people train in the afternoon time, and then some of those train in the evening time. So really, when you're taking on something new, you just got to make that mental space for it and clear your schedule for that hour to an hour and a half and say, hey, I'm going to do this. And once you start doing it, you're going to be so empowered that you are more capable than you thought you were before. Now, another thing about Kung Fu specific is that martial arts masters in China, they know this, that Kung Fu is it's better for older practitioners, and there's a reason for this. Older practitioners, they don't want jerky movements that can hurt their joints, because some people unfortunately develop arthritis as they get older. And if you're doing jerky, rigid type of movements, this may be hard on those joints. Kung Fu is a fluid, circular type of martial arts, unlike karate and taekwondo. So you're not doing extreme stretching, extreme high kicks, extreme just forceful movement. Now you can do this, but you can also slow down the movement and do Tai Chi-like technique with the same techniques, the same set of techniques that you're working with. And therefore, it's much more easy on the joints. And so you see practitioners in China doing Kung Fu into their 90s and beyond, and they'll go down to the park and they'll just practice the movement. They practice the stances. This can increase your bone density. It can increase the blood flow to the brain. It can help you clear out toxins that may be lodged in your channels and you don't even know. And I hear a lot of people and just see them in their face after a session, they feel elated. They feel like, wow, I just feel so energetic after the session. And I myself am the same way. Sometimes I may be a little bit tired before a session, and then I go in there, I practice the techniques with my practitioners, and afterwards I just feel amazing. So don't let age hold you up. Kung Fu is meant to be practiced on into old age, and it has many advantages beyond just the martial element that helps you defend yourself and your family, but the ability to preserve life on into old age. When you start moving energy and blood through your system, it has a way of regenerating yourself, increasing your hormone production, and you just feel so much better. Your cells are thanking you. They're like, yes, thank you. I feel alive again. So definitely don't let age hold you up. Al, he trained with me for over a year, and he did amazing. He had never done any martial arts until his 60s, and he loved it. I mean, you could tell he loved the practice itself. If you have any questions about training, feel free to give me a call for your 15-minute consultation, and I look forward to connecting with you all soon. If you have any more questions, feel free also to message me or ask a question in the comments too, and I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.